Welcome to 11 Regional U.S. Dishes and the Traditions They Reflect, where we explore how food tells the story of place. From Louisiana gumbo's melting pot roots to Kansas City's sweet smoky barbecue, and from New England's maritime chowder to Chicago's engineered deep dish crust, each dish carries a regional tale. We'll also see how labor, migration, and climate shape favorites like shrimp and grits, the Philly cheesesteak, Hawaiian poke, buffalo wings, and New Mexico's green chili. Join us as we map flavor, technique, and history across the American culinary map. 1. Louisiana gumbo, the melting pot in a bowl. Louisiana gumbo isn't just a dish, it's basically the entire story of America in a pot. The dish combines ingredients and culinary practices of several cultures, including West African, French, German, Spanish, and Native American Choctaw. When you taste authentic gumbo, you're experiencing centuries of history in every spoonful. The thick, dark roux that forms the foundation represents the French colonial influence, while the use of corn and filet powder may imply that the dish was derived from native cuisine. What makes gumbo truly special is how it reflects Louisiana's complex cultural tapestry. Spanish government actively recruited settlers for Spanish Louisiana, and about 2,000 people from the Canary Islands moved to the area south of New Orleans, and these settlers were primarily fishermen who soon began supplying large amounts of shrimp, crab, and oysters to the food markets in New Orleans. Each ingredient tells a story, from the okra brought by enslaved Africans to the holy trinity of vegetables that mirrors French cooking techniques. 2. Kansas City barbecue, where sweet meets smoked. Kansas City is synonymous with barbecue, but compared to other barbecue regions, Kansas City doesn't focus on a single protein. It melds traditions from the Carolinas, Memphis, and Texas, and whether or not the barbecue is sauced depends on where you're eating it. This approach perfectly captures Kansas City's position as a crossroads of American culture. The city's barbecue tradition reflects its history as a major railroad hub where different regional styles naturally collided and merged. Kansas City is also known for its tomato-based barbecue sauce, made thick and sweet with molasses. The sauce was developed by Arthur Bryant in the 1940s, but places across town turn out their own versions. The sweet, thick sauce became a signature because Kansas City had access to both molasses from the South and beef from Texas cattle drives. Kansas City is known for its creation of the burnt ends, and man, are people crazy about those little crispy, flavorful chunks of meat. Says Deborah Jones, who co-owns Jones BBQ with her sister, Mary. 3. New England clam chowder, maritime heritage in a bowl. Nothing says New England quite like a steaming bowl of clam chowder on a foggy afternoon. A staple of New England cuisine, clam chowder is a rich and creamy soup made with fresh clams, potatoes, and onions. It's perfect for cold days and carries the briny essence of the Atlantic coast. Served with oyster crackers, this dish has been a Boston favorite since the early 18th century. The white, milk-based version we know today reflects the region's dairy farming traditions alongside its fishing heritage. The chowder tradition runs so deep in New England that local variations spark passionate debates. The culinary charm of New England is the iconic clam chowder, a rich and satisfying soup that truly captures the region's profound affinity for seafood. Bursting with succulent clams, velvety potatoes, and savory bacon, each spoonful becomes a symphony of flavors. The dish not only offers a sensory delight but also serves as a culinary ambassador, embodying the coastal lifestyle. The simplicity of ingredients reflects New England's Puritan heritage of making the most of what nature provides. 4. Carolina barbecue, the great sauce divide. Carolina barbecue represents one of America's oldest regional food traditions, and the sauce wars here are legendary. North Carolina is known for two styles of barbecue delineated by geography: Eastern and Western, and defined by two things: pork and sauce. Sam Jones, the self-styled barbecue man of Sam Jones Barbecue in Winterville and Raleigh, and author of Whole Hog Barbecue, sums it up thusly. The eastern part cooks whole hogs with a thin, vinegar-based sauce. The western part cooks pork shoulders, and their sauce is a tad sweeter because of the introduction of sugar and ketchup. Eastern-style barbecue recipes are perhaps best known as whole hog barbecue, where Lexington-style barbecue involves only the pork shoulder. Eastern-style barbecue is far less discriminatory and can include any and all portions of the hog. Eastern barbecue sauce is based with vinegar and pepper, without a hint of tomato. The vinegar-based sauces trace back to the area's Scottish and Irish settlers, who brought their love of tangy preserves and simple seasonings. This represents the ultimate, waste not, want not, philosophy of early American settlers. 5. Chicago deep dish pizza engineering meets appetite. Chicago deep dish pizza is probably the most controversial regional dish in America, and locals wouldn't have it any other way. Originating from the heart of Chicago, deep dish pizza is a marvel of culinary engineering. This pizza's allure lies in its thick, buttery crust, creating a robust foundation for the symphony of flavors that follows with its thick layers of gooey cheese, zesty sauce, and an array of toppings. Buttery crust and layers of cheese, sauce, and toppings. It's a pizza experience that's as hearty as the Midwestern spirit. The deep dish pizza transcends mere sustenance. It's a celebration of taste, texture, and tradition. The dish reflects Chicago's working-class immigrant heritage, particularly Italian Americans who wanted to create something more substantial than traditional pizza. Chicago's deep dish pizza is arguably one of the most famous exports from the Windy City. With its thick, buttery crust and layers of cheese, meat, and chunky tomato sauce, it's a dish that stands out from typical pizzas. First made in the 1940s, this dish has become an icon of American cuisine. It was designed to be a full meal that could feed hungry factory workers and their families. 6. Texas barbecue beef and smoke religion. Texas barbecue isn't just food, it's practically a religion, and beef brisket is its holy sacrament. Nothing beats the smoky, savory perfection of Texas barbecue. Known for its tender brisket, Texas barbecue is all about slow cooking meats with simple rubs over wood smoke. The result is melt-in-your-mouth meat that captures the essence of Southern cooking. Visiting Texas without trying its barbecue is like missing out on the state's culinary soul. The tradition reflects Texas's cattle ranching heritage and the German and Czech immigrants who brought their meat smoking techniques to the Lone Star State. Texas barbecue is all about the beef, and the sauce is usually used to baste or marinate brisket rather than as a condiment. Texas barbecue sauce is thin but hearty, thanks to the use of meat drippings and other bold ingredients like smoky cumin, hot sauce, chili powder, garlic, and Worcestershire. The minimalist approach to sauce in Texas barbecue reflects the state's confidence in the quality of its beef and the skill of its pitmasters. Good meat doesn't need to hide behind fancy sauces. 7. Lowcountry shrimp and grits. African heritage meets Southern comfort. Shrimp and grits represents one of the most profound cultural fusions in American cuisine. Shrimp and grits as an American dish combines succulent shrimp with creamy grits in a harmonious blend of flavors and textures. With roots and influences from historically enslaved and oppressed Black and African American communities, today shrimp and grits are enjoyed for breakfast, lunch, and dinner across all demographics. In the Deep South, the dish tells the story of adaptation and survival. Grits come from Native American corn preparation techniques, while the combination with shrimp reflects African culinary traditions. Along the coast of South Carolina and Georgia, Lowcountry cuisine reflects a rich blend of African, Caribbean, and European influences. This regional style is known for its use of rice, seafood, okra, sweet potatoes, and cornmeal. Pastry chef Cheryl Herbert said, "One of my favorite indigenous cuisines from America is from the Lowcountry, associated with South Carolina and the Georgia coast. This is gullah geechee, a cuisine style influenced by Western African dishes and made with Southern Lowcountry ingredients. Originally a humble fisherman's breakfast, it's now found on upscale restaurant menus nationwide." 8. Philadelphia cheesesteak. Blue-collar royalty. The Philly cheesesteak is democracy in sandwich form. Simple ingredients transformed into something greater than the sum of their parts. Chipped steak topped with melted cheese stuffed into a white hoagie bun is the foundation of one of America's most famous sandwiches, the Philly cheesesteak. While the namesake city will always wear the crown for this American dish, hidden gem cheesesteak joints can be found across Pennsylvania and throughout the Northeast. The sandwich reflects Philadelphia's working-class Italian-American community and the city's position as a major port and manufacturing center. In Philadelphia, the cheesesteak reigns supreme. There's nothing quite like watching thinly sliced beef sizzling on the grill, then topped with cheese. This regional dish captures the essence of Philly's local flavor and shows a strong sense of culinary pride as shops compete to serve the city's best version of this iconic sandwich. The ongoing debates about proper cheese choice, cheese whiz, provolone, or American, and whether to include onions reflect the passionate local pride that makes regional American food so special. 9. Hawaiian Poke. Pacific Paradise meets mainland America. Poke is Hawaii's gift to the culinary world, offering a fresh, healthy, and flavorful meal. Traditionally made with marinated raw ahi tuna, poke bowls have now evolved to include various toppings and base ingredients, such as rice, seaweed, avocado, and sesame seeds. Poke reflects Hawaii's rich history of Polynesian, Japanese, and Western influences, creating a unique fusion of flavors. The dish represents Hawaii's position as the crossroads of the Pacific, where Asian immigration met Polynesian traditions. The last state to join the Union launched one of America's more recent food trends, the poke bowl. The dish, which today usually consists of cubes of raw ahi tuna or sometimes other cuts of raw seafood such as shrimp or octopus, goes back centuries in Hawaii, well before contact with Westerners. Chef Sam Choi, one of the early drivers of the Hawaii regional cuisine movement in the 1990s, helped expand its popularity well beyond the island chain's shores. Poke's mainland popularity reflects America's increasing embrace of healthy, fresh eating and its growing appreciation for Pacific Rim flavors. 10. Buffalo wings. Accidental genius from upstate New York. Buffalo wings represent one of the great accidental innovations in American food history. Upstate in Buffalo, you'll find the city's signature dish, buffalo wings. Legend has it that the dish was invented in 1964 at the Anchor Bar when Teresa Bellissimo needed a quick snack for her son and his friends, so she deep-fried chicken wings and tossed them in hot sauce and butter. What started as a late-night necessity became a national obsession. The wings reflect Buffalo's working class, no-nonsense culture. They're messy, spicy, and designed to be eaten with your hands while watching the game. The traditional accompaniment of celery sticks and blue cheese dressing creates the perfect cooling contrast to the heat. Buffalo wings embody the American spirit of taking something simple and elevating it through pure enthusiasm and local pride. 11. New Mexico green chili. Desert heat with ancient roots. New Mexico green chili isn't just an ingredient, it's a way of life that connects the state to both its ancient past and its unique position in American culture. Fry bread, one of the staple American dishes of the Southwest, was born out of the adversity faced by indigenous peoples forced onto reservations in the 1800s. Its origins trace back to the Navajo peoples and their resourceful utilization of basic rations provided by the U.S. government during times of displacement and hardship. Despite its painful history, fry bread has evolved into a symbol of resilience and cultural identity for many indigenous communities in the Southwest region. The green chili tradition represents the blending of Native American, Mexican, and Anglo influences that defines New Mexican cuisine. The Southwest is a culinary crossroads where indigenous, Mexican, and Spanish influences merge to create bold, vibrant flavors. The Hatch Valley produces the most prized chilies, and the annual harvest becomes a statewide celebration. Green chili appears in everything from cheeseburgers to apple pie, showing how deeply regional ingredients can permeate a culture's entire food identity. What makes American regional food so fascinating is how these dishes continue to evolve while maintaining their cultural roots. Each bite connects us to the immigrants, indigenous peoples, and innovative cooks who shaped our national palate through creativity, necessity, and love.